In a world sculpted by the dreams of slumbering gods, where mountains scraped the heavens and oceans churned with primordial secrets, there lived the elder beings, the architects of the wild. These were not creatures of subtle grace, but of awe-inspiring, terrible grandeur. High above, in the jagged peaks that pierced the clouds, nested Arion, the Sky Lord, a rock of such immense scale that his shadow was a fleeting eclipse upon the lands below. His plumage was the color of a thunderhead, tipped with the incandescent gold of dawn. Each feather was the size of an ancient redwood, and his talons, curled in repose, could have cradled a warship. Arion was the silent observer, the keeper of the high places. His days were spent soaring on the thermals that rose from the sun-drenched valleys, his gaze, sharper than any mortal blade, scanning the vast tapestry of the world. His cry, rarely heard, was a sound that could shatter stone and send avalanches tumbling into the valleys. He was a creature of solitude and immense, patient power. His nest, a colossal assemblage of petrified trees and the bleached bones of long-forgotten megafauna, was a testament to his longevity and his dominion over the celestial realm. Deep in the abyssal canyons of the great ocean, where the sun was a forgotten myth, slumbered Vodyanoi, the abyssal serpent, a leviathan of terrifying beauty. It was not a creature of flesh and blood in the mortal sense, but of living, shimmering abyssal energy contained within a form of impenetrable, obsidian scales. Its length was immeasurable, for it was said that Vodyanoi was one with the ocean's depths, its coils winding through submerged mountain ranges and its head, crowned with bioluminescent fronds that pulsed with an eerie, hypnotic light, resting in the deepest trench. Vodyanoi was the heart of the ocean, its slow, rhythmic movements dictating the tides and the currents. When it stirred, whirlpools would form on the surface, and storms of unimaginable fury would lash the coastlines. Its voice was the groaning of tectonic plates, a sound that resonated in the very bones of the world. And in the heart of the great swampy expanse known as the Verdant Maw, a jungle so dense that the light of day was a fractured, emerald tapestry, roamed Grom, the Earthshaker, a behemoth of unparalleled might. Grom was not a creature of predatory aggression, but of immense, unyielding strength. His hide was as thick as petrified ironwood, scarred with the geological history of the land itself. Mosses and ancient vines clung to his mountainous back, creating a living, mobile ecosystem. His legs were like the pillars of a forgotten temple, and each footfall was a localized earthquake, sending tremors through the soft earth. His great horned head, with eyes like molten amber, surveyed a world of green. Grom was a force of nature, a slow-moving, grass-eating titan whose very existence shaped the landscape. Rivers would change their course to flow around him, and his passage would carve new valleys through the dense jungle. For eons, these three titans existed in a delicate, unspoken truce, each a sovereign in their own domain. Arion ruled the boundless sky, Vodyanoi commanded the infinite ocean, and Grom held dominion over the unyielding land. But one day, a star fell from the heavens. It was not a silent, glittering speck, but a roaring, incandescent shard of cosmic fury that tore through the atmosphere, a wound in the fabric of the sky. It struck the coastal plains that bordered the Verdant Maw and the great ocean, a cataclysmic event that shook the very foundations of the world. The impact sent a shockwave that cracked the mountains, rousing Arion from his high perch with a scream of rage and confusion. The colossal bird took to the sky, his wings beating a hurricane into existence as he flew towards the source of the disturbance. The ocean boiled where the star fragment had seared the earth. The sudden, intense heat and the seismic shockwave that ripped through the seabed disturbed Vodyanoi's ancient slumber. The abyssal serpent uncoiled with a terrifying speed, its immense form rising from the depths, its bioluminescent crown flaring with an angry, violet light. The sea itself rose with it, a colossal tsunami that raced towards the wounded coastline. And Grom, the placid giant, was thrown from his feet by the violent tremor. The earth groaned and split around him. The scent of burning land and vaporized ocean filled the air, an affront to his ancient senses. With a guttural roar that was the sound of mountains breaking, he lumbered towards the coast, his immense bulk crashing through the jungle, leaving a path of flattened devastation in his wake. The three titans converged on the impact crater, a smoking, molten scar upon the land. For the first time in millennia, they beheld one another. Arion circled high above, his golden eyes blazing with celestial fury. Vodyanoi, a towering serpent of living darkness and shimmering light, coiled at the edge of the boiling sea, its roar a symphony of crashing waves and abyssal pressure. And Grom stood at the edge of the shattered jungle, his massive head lowered, his amber eyes burning with the slow, implacable rage of the earth itself. There was no malice in their confrontation, only a raw, elemental fury. The balance had been broken, their domains violated. Arion descended in a diving arc, his talons extended, not to attack, but to unleash a vortex of wind that tore at the boiling sea, attempting to push back the encroaching tsunami. Vodyanoi, in turn, did not strike at the great bird, but focused its immense energy on the wounded land, its watery tendrils attempting to cool the molten crater, to quell the unnatural fire that burned at the heart of the world. And Grom, with a mighty heave of his shoulders, began to push the fractured earth back together, his immense strength a bulwark against the encroaching, boiling sea. For a day and a night, the Titans raged, not against each other, but against the chaos that had been unleashed. The sky was a maelstrom of wind and thunder, the sea a churning vortex of steam and waves, and the land a groaning, shifting mass. In the end, as the last of the star fragments' fire was extinguished by the relentless ocean, and the earth was once again made whole by the indomitable behemoth, a new, deeper understanding had settled between them. They were not just rulers of their own realms, but the guardians of their world. With a final, resonant call that was a chorus of screech, roar, and groan, they retreated to their domains, leaving behind a reshaped coastline and a world that now bore the scars of their awesome power. The balance was restored, but the memory of the sundering of giants would forever linger in the whispers of the wind, the crash of the waves, and the deep, silent rumble of the earth.